Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Yeah! What are we fighting for here in Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock. Oh, one of my good friends, man. He's big independence declaring kind of guy. And Big doesn't say it all. Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane with the WWE. You know, I will put up his site here real quick, The Adventures of Citizen X. Now, Glenn is a good hardcore libertarian type individual. You know, Glenn, I want to give you an opportunity. Just anytime we get to visit and talk with each other is always a good show for a lot of the people listening. I know you got a lot of fans out there. And I want to, there's so much news going on. And we're always trying to get you to come to the Freedom Summit. It's just that you're so busy still traveling and everything. I mean, how long are you going to be jumping from the top rope, man?
A while yet, man. I'm still having fun, so as long as I'm having fun, I guess I keep on doing it.
Oh, this is it's hardcore. I mean, Glenn's puts on a really big show. We go down when you come into Arizona and we're like, cane me. We want to be caned. We have a good time, so it's always a pleasure to see you perform. You got involved in politics here of late. Tell us about that. How did that come about? Why did you all of a sudden become so concerned about what was going on in your life here in America and for everybody?
Well, actually, Ernie, I despise politics. The reason I think that a lot of us are interested or become interested is because it does affect our lives so much. I've heard it said that politics and government should be the least important thing in our lives, but it's the most important thing in our lives. It's everything's been tipped over and turned on its head, and that's how I first became interested years ago. Val Venus, actually, Sean Morley from your area out in Phoenix, told me about the LP, the Libertarian Party, because I was sort of struggling. Was I a conservative, a liberal, Republican, Democrat, and at times I was both, and at times I was neither. And like I said, Sean told me about the LP, and I was like, yeah, I sound a lot more like a libertarian. And then the more I got into studying the philosophy, the more I realized it wasn't about issues, but it was a philosophy. And basically, people should be free to do what they want as long as they don't hurt anybody else, that people should be in control of their lives, and the person who best controls his life is that person and not some politician or bureaucrat. And it's amazing to me, I guess, that unfortunately this day and age, people that believe that, like you and me, are considered absolute radicals. I mean, all I'm saying is that people should be free. Isn't that a really good thing?
I vote that. We got Sierra in the studio here in the video. She's holding up a cane me sign. Cane me. Hey, it's always great to talk to you, and you're such a great voice for freedom. And tell me about, your blog that you started, Adventures of Citizen X. I remember it was probably a couple of years that you were doing radio podcasting. So, LRN.FM, man, we need to get you on there regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ian's talked to me about doing that. I just don't have enough time, man. There's so much stuff and so little time. But yeah, just with the blog, I think just like a lot of people, I just wanted to start voicing my opinion and tell folks what I thought about things. And fortunately, as of now, we still have a free internet where people can do those things. Unfortunately, the government's doing everything it can to shut down the freedom of the internet. Hopefully we can fight them off.
Well, one of the other things that you were really concerned about was this TSA thing. I mean, you called me, I don't know, last week or two, and you were worked up about it because you got to go through this stuff a lot.
Right, yeah. I fly generally at least twice a week. I fly out to wherever we're performing, and then I fly back home. So I am a frequent traveler. I mean, I'm a million-miler on one airline. I've got hundreds of thousands of miles on other airlines. So, yeah, this is right in my face. I mean, this really affects people like me. And it's just completely unacceptable, Ernie. I mean, the level of security in the airports. First of all, it's amazing to me to think that the idea that terrorists will take over an airplane after 9/11 gains any traction with people. If we all recall, immediately after 9/11, several unruly passengers were actually beaten to death by other passengers on the plane. I don't think anyone's going to get on an airplane and take it over anymore. That's just not going to happen. So the focus should be on the cargo, not on the passengers. But I think as libertarians, we need to shift the paradigm all the way over from not only the level of security, but who is providing that security. And as a libertarian, I believe that the market would do a much better job than the government's doing. And not only would it be more efficient, more effective, but it would also be much less invasive than these procedures that the government has implemented.
You know, I'm hoping that where we'll get to is that we have an understanding of what the proper role of government. If you're going to have one, you know, there's kind of simple things they should be doing, and pretty much leaving us alone is the big one. But for someone that travels as much as you do, you kind of stick out. I mean, you're a tall guy. You're 6'9" or something.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big guy.
So you're gonna, you know, you don't go unnoticed. So when you go opt out, and if you want to feel me up, you know, heck, for you they might have to reach up. So I'm just wondering, you have any experiences yet with this? Have they started to do the full body pat down on you? They're going to need a couple of guys.
Yeah, I do have a lot of body. No, I haven't actually. I haven't gone through an airport, or more specifically, actually through a checkpoint that has the body scanners. So when I've gone through them before and opted out, that was before the TSA implemented the new, essentially, groping policy. And the way this works is at most airports, it's sort of strange how they've done this, because it's sort of ad hoc. They just throw the machines out there. Like in Chicago, there's a lot of the body scanners, Chicago O'Hare. Some of the other airports, they're here and there. At some of the smaller airports, there are no body scanners at all. They still just have the metal detectors. And one of the ways that you can avoid them still is you can find a checkpoint where there aren't any of the body scanners, or they only have metal detectors. Because at a lot of the big airports, they don't have them at every security checkpoint. And then, too, what will happen is they'll pick like every third person to go through the body scanners. Most people will go through the metal detectors, and every once in a while they just pull someone out at random to go through the body scanners. But to answer your question, no, I haven't been subjected to the new pat-down rules.
But you will be. And as much as you travel. Well, you know, the thing is that the only reason they have as few people going through it now as they do is because they can't build them fast enough. I mean, you know, Chertoff is still cranking them bad boys out, you know. These,
right.
You know, this is just, you know, here they are, and there's going to be more, and it'll be, you know, first they have one I remember when they had the first one at Sky Harbor. I was flying, I took a picture of it with my cell phone. I got my BlackBerry out, you know, boom, got it. Yep, see, this is what it looks like, and it was kind of off to the side. It wasn't even in line. They hadn't installed it
right.
yet. Then they get installed. Then they put, you know, the other terminals get it. You know, we got, I think, 3 terminals here at Sky Harbor. So they'll put the second one, the third one. Then they'll start putting more. I mean, it's going to get to the point where it's total recall with Schwarzenegger, man. I mean, you're going to have.
Well, yeah. The TSA that's one of the things they lied about. They said that the body scanners were going to be a secondary screening device. If you went through the metal detector and the metal detector went off, you had the option of either pat down or going through the body scanners. Now, what they've done is they've made the body scanners the primary screening device. And, of course, as you say, they're going to be everywhere at some point. That's going to be the primary screening device, which the TSA said that it was never going to be to begin with.
Oh, they're going to make some money. Money! Yeah.
Well, so yeah, Chertoff is. As an aside,
well, let's go. They're going to push the button on us, man. We're going to hold your thought, and we'll get right back to it. You stay right there with Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane. Well, tell us what's on his mind when we come back here on Declare Your Independence.